Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is episode 6 of the 21 Yard Line podcast. Can I get a Ohio State sucks?
Ohio State
Steelers
sucks.
can't win a game.
Yeah, let's say it. All right. We are talking NFL this week, even though that game was awesome. We'll be going over Super WildCard Weekend Round 1, the Super WildCard Weekend. I think the first time in NFL history that it's Super. Normally it's just WildCard. Now, we will just jump straight into it. We're not going to keep you guys for super long today. Maybe we will. Not really sure. So Super WildCard Weekend. It started off Saturday, and I think it started off with the best game of the whole weekend. Kicked off with a bang. Bills versus Colts. The Bills beat the Colts 27-24. It's a close one. Take me through your thoughts.
I just said that Philip Rivers has a higher chance of finishing at home than he has finishing in games. Because he has more kids than he probably has fourth quarter wins. But anyway, I think this team with Josh Allen, it doesn't need a run game because Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs themselves can carry this whole offense to multiple wins. Cole Beasley too, but he didn't have the best game. He had a couple of good catches, but Stephon just kept on burning everyone on the Colts defense, and it's kind of evident that you need to stop Stephon Diggs. And if you stop Stephon Diggs, then Cole Beasley will probably have a big game. So this offense is really, really good.
Those that play near the end of the half where the Colts jumped, and I feel like the refs almost sold because that looked like a fumble to me, but luckily the Bills are able to hold on.
Yeah, just a bunch of self-inflicted wounds for the Colts, to be honest.
Yeah, anyone know it's 4th and 3. There's not much time left. Everyone in the building knew that they were just hard counting. How do you I don't know how they can be so stupid.
Yeah. I think it was a great game. I mean, Bills get their first playoff win in 26 years. That is a lot older, 10 years older than I am. I know that's a very long time. After that game, yes, their defense did show some weakness, but the Bills could be the team to beat in the playoffs. The AFC definitely is more threatening right now than the NFC, I would say, but the Colts fought hard, and I think in the coming year, the Colts will be the biggest threat. If the Colts sign the right guy to be QB, I think the Colts could win the Super Bowl next year.
Moving on, Rams, Seahawks. The Rams won this 30-20. Max, your thoughts?
Yeah. I think even though I'm a Steelers fan, and yes, I'm disappointed, and yes, we started off 11-0 only to finish 1-5, I still think the Seahawks are the most disappointing team in the NFL this year. They started off going crazy on offense, at least, and Russell Wilson was the clear MVP frontrunner, and then all of a sudden they just switched from amazing offense to average defense, I would call it, like okay defense with no offense, and I don't know how it happened, but the Seahawks definitely need to look back at this season and make some major changes. And I think hopefully that the Seahawks fans, most of them bandwagons, they enjoyed their years of playoff runs because I do not think the future looks bright for that organization, to be honest.
Very happy actually that they lost because I absolutely hate Seattle. Every part of Seattle I hate, and I also hate Jamal Adams. That was a cheap shot. Still, Jamal Adams was probably one of the worst trades you could have made. That Jets probably better off without Jamal Adams because he really makes no difference whatsoever. And this Rams offense, it really just needs to run behind Cam Akers because if they don't have a run game, then I don't really think they can.
I don't know. That could have been a fluke game. I don't know.
I mean, he got like 30 carries, so he was a workworkse.
Yeah, I guess.
And
he
so,
was.
I mean,
well, because all year, like in fantasy, I had their Malcolm Brown, and
yeah, no, I think it was it against the Patriots where Cam Akers popped off. That was his breakout game.
I guess, yeah, because every week during at least regular season, they seemed to have a different guy. They had Henderson, Brown, and Akers, and they would all share. But now they seem to have found their guy, maybe.
Yep.
I mean, that Rams defense looked pretty good, but the team does have some major injury questions like Kupp's knee, Donald's rib, and Goff's hand.
No, they said Cup and Donald were good to go for next week, but
even if they're good to play, though, sometimes it's
they could
they can
re-aggravate
still
it.
bother some. I think you saw that.
yeah, but we got to give a shout out to that Rams defense. Even without Donald, they made the Seahawks look so bad. So that
That's
shows
true.
how good
That's
of
true.
defense they have.
I mean, the Jets did also make the Seahawks look bad, but that's fine. Yes, the
Yeah.
Rams defense did play good.
I mean, Jets made Rams look bad too. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Both these teams lost to the Jets. No, Seahawks beat the
No,
Jets.
no.
Seahawks beat the Jets. Tampa versus the Washington football team, 31-23. Tampa takes the win. Max, your thoughts?
All right. No matter what, no matter the circumstance, no matter what team you have, no matter what team he has, you never want to face Tom Brady in the playoffs ever. I know this game was close and Washington football team was definitely the worst team in the playoffs, but still, whatever team you are, you just never want to see this guy on the other sideline. I think Heineke proved that he at least gets a roster spot next year. I don't think he's hype enough to be their new starter, but he deserves to be on the roster, practice squad, backup, something like that. The football team does look pretty decent. They have a lot of bright young stars, and they could be on top of the NFC East for a couple of years coming up. And Tampa does have the talent to make the Super Bowl, in my mind. If they can work out some issues on the defensive side of the ball and continue to run on offense and do some good offense, I think they could make the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Wait, wasn't there like a story where like Heineke came to the building at like 5 a.m. and Tom Brady was already there or something?
I don't know.
I don't know, something about Tom Brady being there at like 4 a.m. or whatever. So like, yeah, obviously you don't want to play Tom Brady in the playoffs, but the Bucs defense, so like Todd Bowles' defense is mainly just blitz packages, but Heineke was making all the right reads and everything. So like, it makes me wonder that maybe next week against Drew Brees, who relatively gets the ball out of his hands pretty quick, I don't know how this Bucs D is gonna do it because it wasn't the greatest against Washington. And then for Washington, they played really aggressive in the first half, and then they let multiple balls go over their heads for touchdowns. So obviously, I think one of the reasons Washington lost the game was because of like them changing their identity.
I mean, Heineke was relevant, and he's probably gonna be irrelevant for a week. But after that, he's probably just gonna become irrelevant again.
Yeah. And then talking about Chase, bro. Chase talked all that trash talking.
That
He
was not
didn't
trash
really.
talk. My man literally just said that he wanted to
Okay,
face
Yeah,
yeah,
Tom Brady.
true.
Like, it's not like he was calling him trash.
But
Yeah,
nah, he didn't do
no
anything.
one can call Tom Brady trash.
He didn't do anything.
He didn't show up that game, but Washington had enough stars that they still got some pressure on Brady. All right, moving on. Actually, this could have also been considered the best game, either this or between the Bills and Colts. Titans versus Ravens. I thought this would be a lot higher scoring than it was personally, but Ravens take down the Titans. What actually has become kind of a major rivalry in my mind. 20-13, Surya. Let's hear your thoughts. I honestly need to go back because I forgot at the beginning of the episode to introduce you guys. He was on our podcast last week. He was a little overshadowed by Luke's loud mouth, but we brought him back again to redeem himself and let him actually talk. So yes, we brought back Surya. Surya,
What's
go
up,
ahead.
guys? Pleasure to be here. Thank you, guys. So yeah, about this game, I think Lamar had a great game running the ball, not passing, running. He had a good 136 yards rushing. Great game, especially that one explosive run he had. Then talking about Mark Vrabel, or the head coach for the Titans. Come on, man. 4th and 2 in the fourth quarter on the Ravens 40. You're down by 4, bro, and you punt the ball. Man, that was just, you got to be more brave than that as a head coach. It's just the most like logical. Like, he had to be more brave. And then also I want to talk about his quote. And it was he was willing to cut his penis off to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. I remember that.
That was
Wasn't that last year or something? That was last year.
Yeah.
But
I bet you he still has his balls attached because they did not win the Super Bowl.
his wife is very happy.
Lamar or the Ravens are probably losing next week, but like the only reason the Ravens are even close is because Lamar was able to make passing plays into running plays. They can't pass the ball, and it didn't seem like they could run the ball with their running backs. The only chance they had was Lamar stepping up and running with it.
Yeah, and Tannehill kind of made a mistake at the end there. I know the pick wasn't his fault, but AJ Brown was open on the left side. I think you have to look at his side first because your best receiver.
Yeah, don't target whoever's been stupid idiot, whatever wide receiver is. Khalif Raymond. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lamar is a dang good running back. I'll say that. I know he doesn't really have anyone to throw the ball to, but still, if he's gonna at least in the coming years be a good, strong QB, he's gonna need to learn how to throw the ball some more. And the Titans, they had so many defensive flaws that they couldn't really win. They weren't going far in the playoffs, in my mind. But the AFC South in general is looking like a scary division. Trevor Lawrence will most likely be in that division now too, and the Colts and Titans look strong. All right, moving on. Bears versus Saints. This was the first ever NFL game broadcasted on Nickelodeon. Worst game of the week by far, and probably a bad game to be the first one on Nickelodeon. If they were trying to get kids interested, this certainly was not the way to do it. Saints beat the Bears, I guess, 21-9. Sure, we'll say it.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy it. I mean, like I was doing my homework while watching it. So like every time I look up, one team has the ball. I look back down, I look back up, the other team has the ball, and it's just back and forth. And then Wim's stupid buddy just drops the ball in the end zone for the Bears, which is like kind of stupid because like that's the spark the Bears needed. And after that, I mean, Mitch did Mitch things, so bad. I swear to God, their whole team.
You mean Nickelodeon's most valuable player?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, he's very good.
MVP. How many MVPs does Mahomes have? How many MVPs
Dude,
does
imagine
Watson
losing
have?
a playoff game and then having to come back out to take a stupid trophy.
I don't know. I don't think he had a ceremony. I think they're just gonna mail it. I don't know.
Well, yeah, they're probably just gonna give it to him because he lost.
But still, yeah, I'm sure that'll be on his
trophy. How did they allow that to happen?
Like, how do you MVP? Is it because like what?
Everyone was just trolling.
Dude.
The kids are learning.
Oh man!
First time she'd ever seen.
Imagine if they had Gibby instead of Lex, whatever his name was, as the sideline reporter.
Yeah, man.
The issue is that guy's probably like in a show that kids are watching now. Like no one's watching iCarly nowadays.
iCarly was that was the bomb. Bro. That was such a good show.
Yeah, like there's like new shows.
I just kind of like Nickelodeon. Maybe if they didn't explain every little thing that happened, it was actually kind of fun.
Yeah,
more
it was
than regular
decent.
games.
Yeah,
but the game was just trash. Like I would not watch this game if it wasn't on Nickelodeon.
That game was terrible.
Sorry, you actually written down some strong words about the Bears.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's just boring game, man. Trubisky, bro.
Bears are what? Sorry, yeah.
No, I just said it was a boring game, man.
No, but you said something right there. What, you want to say it?
Bro, come on, man. The Bears are ass, bro.
Okay, all right.
They're ass.
They are very, very. They let us win. Didn't we lose every game?
Bro, that's the thing. If the Lions tried a little harder this season, didn't face like injuries with Kenny Goddard, they could have took the spot of the Bears, bro.
They could have, yeah.
They could have.
No,
they really
did Swift and dropped the ball in the first game of the season. God damn it!
All we had to do was go 8-8. Like,
yeah,
I know.
That's it. That's how weak the NFC was, which seems amazing that teams like the Dolphins missed the playoffs in the AFC, but this was the team that made it for the NFC.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was by far the worst game of WildCard weekend. The Saints it was still a 12-point game at the end, so it's not like the Saints blew me away either.
Yeah.
I guess the Bears' defense is their only strong piece, but still.
They have to play dead for a play just to get a touchdown.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham with the sick catch at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, well, right, and it was a one-score game for pretty much the whole game until the fourth, end of the game. So,
Yeah.
all right, final
Anyways,
game of the night.
moving on.
Mousy.
Hey,
That way,
man,
talk like that way, you walk
I
like that.
talked,
Ding,
bro.
ding, ding,
As
ding,
soon
ding.
as this game's... Oh, did I write in the wrong thing?
Yeah, you were 48-37 Steelers. That didn't happen.
Steelers Browns 48-37. I turn it on.
Turn it on. I see a ball whiz past Ben Roethlisberger's head.
Hey,
How
all
are they
right.
all the way down?
All right, as
Oh,
the
God,
in-house
bro.
Steelers fan, let me go through my views and then you guys can talk. All right, I'm just gonna say my stuff. All right, you ready? All right, from the start, for very first snap,
Oh,
you
so
could.
now we're already making excuses. We're already making
This
excuses.
isn't an excuse. I'm just saying this. Fate was on the Browns' side, and it's good for them. The Browns hadn't won a playoff game since 2002, man. I wasn't alive then. And the Browns finally made it, and from the very first start, you could just see the Browns were destined to win this game, and good for them. The Steelers actually could have won this game. Their offense actually did decent for once. We put up 37 points. If we didn't turn the ball over 5 times and lose the turnover margin by 5, we definitely could have won this game because if you look at it, it's only an 11-point game by the end. I know there was some garbage time touchdowns and whatever, but still. Overall, just looking forward, the Steelers next year at least, we've got a lot of money issues. If we do want to bring back Ben and give him his one last shot, that's going to cost us $40 million, and we're going to have to at least release 1 or 2 of our defensive stars. So, we could end up seeing a very different looking team next year for Pittsburgh, whether that's a new QB, some new defensive pieces. But looking forward for the Browns now, we'll not look to next season, but the rest of the playoffs, the Browns are going to have a rough time next week. I know Claypool said whatever. Juju's rubbing too much off on Claypool in my mind. But the Browns are going to have a hard game because they cannot expect Mahomes to turn the ball over 5 times. So that's all. Go ahead.
I mean, Juju. I think Juju finally broke 100 yards for the first time this
160.
season,
Yeah, he had a great
the
game.
third time since AB left. Yeah, impressive.
Yep.
That's why he was dancing when he was down.
I mean, everyone's been saying frauds. Anybody who's not a Steelers fan been saying they're frauds. 1-5 to end the season. I mean, they were claiming that they could beat the Chiefs, but won't have that chance. But I think the Steelers the last 3 years have been one of the worst teams running the ball. So they're gonna have to try to fix that up. I think they were dead last this year in running the ball.
We were dead last we were dead last in running. Yeah, our offensive line actually was the worst it's been in a while this year.
I like Big Ben though. I think Big Ben can stay 1 more year.
He's gonna have to take a pay cut. There's no way they're gonna pay him $41 million.
He's gonna have to be like, hey, he's gonna have to say, I'm a veteran. I'll come back for way less money and just want to play.
He should. He can't.
Which he should. He doesn't need the money.
Yeah.
He should say, I'll come back for 11 mil or something and play one more.
Well, 11 mil? If you give me 11 mil, bro, oh my god.
Fine. Come back for 1 mil.
I come back for 1 mil, bro. 1 mil?
Dude, but 1 mil is nothing for Roth.
Yeah, I know it's nothing for them, but for us,
he's
it's like
expected 42 mil. So
it isn't quite, but whatever.
All right, Vomsy and Ohm, you got anything else for me?
Why'd you say me? I actually respected that laws. You know, I wasn't like Vomsy's the person you should be worried about. Vomsy's always be talking crap.
Obviously, they started off rough, 28-0 after the first quarter, but I thought they showed some fight by trying to come back in that game.
Oh yeah, I mean it was an 11-point game, so we
I
outscored
think
them
the
rest of the game.
Prevent defense.
Yeah.
Well, but we still. It's not like we ran the ball then. We threw it on them.
But but that means that Browns head coaching staff really worked online. That must have been tough without your head coaches and still
without practicing.
Very
still
true.
pulling off a win like this. Got to give props for the Browns.
Oh, yeah, and I have said the Browns, they deserve to win that game. There's nothing questioning that. All right, let's move on. We'll take a small break. We've been talking a lot of playoff football, but we are going to head back to it because that's pretty much the only football right now. Because college football just ended. The national championship. Let's give a round of applause.
The Roll Tide.
Surya, go ahead.
Man, bro. OSU.
And women. We're not.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Sarah
Men
Fuller,
and
shout
women
out.
out there watching this beautiful podcast. Come on, man. Come on.
Listening.
OSU fans, bro. Talk. Exactly. Your team's not good.
They actually played a pretty
Alabama
good.
made you look so bad. They made you look like a high school football team. Okay. But yeah, some things I just want to point out. Devontae, wait, how do you say his name?
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith.
Devontae, not Nosy, not Montez perfect type person.
Yeah, but whatever. He totally deserved Heisman Trophy, 215 yards, just in one half, and 3 TDs.
Yeah.
And then Justin Fields, Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is better. And yeah.
I mean, the Buckeyes played a pretty good first quarter. I mean, I think it was tied, but then it kind of
14-14.
then it kind of fell apart.
Yeah, no, it fell apart in like the middle of the second quarter.
Well, and the thing is, it fell apart from the beginning because watching that whole game, the Ohio State defense stopped them 3 times. One was the fumble. One was a 3-and-out at the end of the half when Bama was just taking shots. And one was one more 3-and-out the rest of the game. Every other drive, Bama scored a touchdown. Ohio State defense could not do anything. Shaun Wade was projected to be a first-round draft pick. He was a preseason All-American. He's projected in the 5th round now. Every snap he played this whole season, his draft stock has gone down. Sucks for that guy, but I don't really care.
Do you guys think between this Bama team and last year's LSU team, who do you think's winning?
Yeah, I saw that post
This Bama
somewhere.
team.
Definitely, yeah, this Bama.
No, dude, I think, yeah.
Really?
I mean,
What?
no,
Actually, no, dude, it's going to be a very good game. It's going to be a
it would, but...
Actually, no. Give me this Bama team. I don't know. I think Joe Burrow's the better QB than Mac Jones, but I don't know.
LSU played a lot of good teams last year. Like, they played... LSU knocked out the 1, 2, 3, and 4 preseason teams, and they played 7 of the top 10 teams, and they won by an average of 28 points.
That is true. I actually forgot how dominant they were last
Yeah, they
year.
had Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase.
Yeah, no.
But it's
Joe Burrow.
I just feel like the Alabama defense isn't going to be as good because, like,
Alabama-
Alabama's really young this year.
Yeah, no.
They're really young.
When Mark Ingram was there, their defense was crazy.
Well, yeah, they had
This LSU team's not really good this year. They're really young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, but the improvement Mac Jones has showed, though, like, I think they were saying, like, when he entered college, he was, like, a 3-star. He wasn't very talked about. And then the development he's shown.
And their next QB, Bryce Young for Bama, that's another QB that's going to be really, really good. So, I mean,
even better.
Bama's just going to dominate for, like, every single year for the rest of our lives. It's not even close.
Yeah.
The only chance is when Nick Saban retires.
Yeah.
But
Facts.
Or if he somehow goes to the NFL.
And then Bill O'Brien signed as their OC now. So like that's an actual NFL coach that's on their OC now.
How much does Nick Saban make for coaching?
Oh, probably a lot.
A lot of money.
Like more than like what NFL teams pay head coaches?
And the Aflac Duck probably pays him a bit.
But my biggest question is, I think through this playoffs, it's shown it too, was that there was teams right from the outside looking in, and I'd love to see whatever Cincinnati matchup.
I saw
and I want that 8-team playoff. I only asked for 8 teams. That's one more.
I saw
week
a post on Instagram where it was like 40. It was like 52 to 25.
Texas A&M.
It was the same score that
Texas A&M. Yeah, the same score.
No, and Notre Dame did better.
We don't want to see
Notre Dame did better than OSU.
Like, I'd rather watch like maybe a Texas A&M upsetting an Alabama and then getting shit on for the next like 10 years than watching the same Bama team drop 52 on OSU.
The 8th seed
just like
was
one
what?
upset would be so fun.
What was the 8th seed this year? It was Cincinnati, or Cincinnati was like the 7th seed, right?
Cincinnati was 8. Georgia
so
was 9.
we would have got to see Bama Cincinnati, and then it's like yeah, you can have the underdog stories because really, when there's the 4 best teams, there's not really an underdog.
There's
You
an
know,
Yeah, the
there's
fourth best
not.
team
Yeah.
being the one best team isn't an upset.
no, right, and
Yeah,
it's
Cincinnati was 8. Cincinnati was 8.
yeah. So we think that I mean, college football they need a little bit of change, but still, I think it was a decent playoff. Definitely a. I mean, I enjoyed it
You would
just
have
because Ohio
you would
State
have had
lost.
Alabama, Cincinnati, Florida, Clemson, OU, OSU, and Notre Dame and Texas A&M.
Right?
I'd
Yeah,
rather watch
Yeah.
that than watching. It's pretty
Definitely.
much just like Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Notre Dame, and OU that like rotate every year.
and I think some other fun things they could do would be while they're doing this 8-team playoff, they can do mini like 4-team bowl game brackets. Like have the Rose Bowl or something like where there's 4 teams that all are competing for the
Mm-hmm.
Rose
That's
Bowl
actually not a bad idea.
or
Because
something
like
like
nobody
that.
really cares about like some of the games. Like some of the games that Michigan State or Michigan plays, like they're kind of like nobody cares. I'd rather watch an extra game of this than watch
Like the
like the
Xfinity
ACC
Couch
championship.
Bowl or
Yeah,
whatever.
dude,
Like,
no
what do you
one
want? No
watches
one, no
that.
one wants
I don't
Right,
even
I'd
like
rather
understand the point of having that.
like
I'd
yeah,
rather watch this
they
than watch Clemson once again win their division
so like
or
my
their
idea with
conference.
like the Rose Bowl, right, would be, it's how like it's usually the top 4 teams that don't make the playoff are in the Rose Bowl or whatever. Like they could put the Rose Bowl as 4 teams that aren't quite there, but then they play like the mini bowl games, but then the championship game is the Rose Bowl. So
And
I think that'd be
I watched
cool.
a Joel Klatt video who's like he's pretty knowledgeable about football and he was talking about how like besides like these top 4 teams, nobody really has anything to play for. Like you can go undefeated and you still might not get in. Like your fate is pretty much like set at the beginning. Like you have to play really good teams and you have to prove yourself. And if
If you're not
even if
Power
you lose
5,
once, yeah.
Yeah.
if
Like
you're
Notre
not
Dame
Power
already
5, you're
lost
not
once,
getting
but
in.
they're in.
If
Yeah.
you go undefeated and you're not Power 5, you're probably not going to get in actually.
So like all these players and coaches, they pretty much know what their ceiling is already. It's like impossible. It's almost impossible to have national championship
No, but
aspirations.
to be fair, most of the teams that went undefeated, like for example, Cincinnati, I think UCF a couple of years,
A couple of years ago,
both of them
Western
lost
Michigan.
in the bowl game.
Yeah.
I think UCF
Yeah,
lost to Auburn, and then Cincinnati lost to Georgia this
Georgia.
year.
All right. Moving on, we'll go very quickly here. We're going a little over the time, which we seem to do every episode now, but that's fine because not many people actually listen all the way through, I don't believe. We're on the come up, correct, boys?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Comeback
All
season.
right.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
going to preview now the divisional round preview. So, starting off the week on Saturday afternoon in Lambeau Field. I didn't look at the forecast. I don't know if they're expecting snow, but at 4:25, the Rams versus Packers will kick off. I'll start with my prediction. Give me the Rams. Give me the Rams 27-23. I'm an Aaron Rodgers hater.
Me
I hate
too,
him.
man. Everyone does.
Me too.
I'm a Packers hater. It's very biased, 100% biased, but that's okay. I think the Rams defense will come up big with some big turnovers, like they always do. Number 1 defense in the NFL, ain't that right, Gomsey?
Mm-hmm.
And the Packers. Well, let's think. Packers last year went 13-3, lost first game of the playoffs, and they never got talked about again. I never heard their name once, And I think the biggest key will be that Ramsey will do a good enough job with Devontae to win them the game. That's my opinion.
I think the Packers are gonna like absolutely rinse the Rams. I think it's be 38-17 just because I feel the defense might be able to hold the Packers offense for a little bit, but I don't trust that offense against a Packers defense which is pretty middle of the road. I don't know, I just don't trust that offense. So I think eventually the defense is gonna get tired and then they're gonna get worn down.
Yeah, no.
And Jalen Ramsey is only 1%. I mean, they still got Lazard, Scantling,
Yeah,
and
that's
Jones
that.
out in the
Yeah.
backfield. So
Yeah, I could care less about Lazard and Scantling.
No,
Marquez Valdez-Scantling. No, but I mean, I hate the Packers, but I think they're gonna win, obviously, because of how good Aaron Rodgers is at distributing the ball. But I wouldn't mind if they lost. Oh my god, I'd love it if they
I
lost.
think the biggest chance the Rams have is one of their defensive ends or defensive tackles has got to like mess up Aaron Rodgers.
Good.
I
He's
think
fine.
like, bro,
Just
imagine how
do it.
satisfying that would be. Aaron Donald.
Darius Leonard and Aaron Donald just crush Aaron Rodgers in the pocket. Absolutely come up. Oh my god. That'd be horrible. It
Awesome.
actually awesome, but very horrible injury.
No, it'd be awesome.
To
All right.
look at, obviously.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's okay.
Next
Go.
up, Saturday night. For some reason, they only gave us one night game this weekend in the playoffs, but this is 100%, 1,000%. I wrote down the wrong team on our little sheet, which is fine. But yeah, I did. No, I
What?
didn't.
No,
No,
you
I
did
didn't.
it back
I'm
to
stupid.
right.
I'm stupid. All right.
Are you dumb?
Bills. We got Saturday at 8:20 kickoff. Bills versus Ravens. Surya, what do you think?
All
about
right,
this?
yeah. So I actually have an upset here. I know. Ravens, they can't pass, but I still think with that Bills defense, if the Ravens establish a running game to start the game, like they get J.K. Dobbins going, I think they could. I think Lamar has that confidence now. You could like tell by the end of the game, he has that confidence now. With that, he got that like had not winning a playoff game thing off his chest. So I think he's gonna play with a lot of confidence, and he's gonna push the Ravens over the top to pull in upset on the Bills. Ravens 30-27.
Bro, are you
I
serious?
think it's gonna be a blowout. If you watch that game yesterday, or not yesterday, Saturday, Jonathan Taylor was getting some pretty big yards, and the Titans don't really have that good of a run defense, and the Ravens were still kind of struggling to get like designed runs. Most of their runs were like Lamar, like that first touchdown. It was a pass play that he happened to take for a run. So I think the Bills will, I think the Bills. I think they'll be able to blow them out, just because Ravens won't be able to have like a rhythm on offense. And even though the Bills' defense looked a little sus and they're giving up some yards, I think their offense will be able to kind of produce those big plays and those momentum shifts.
Yeah, the Bills defense like a bend don't break defense, right? Because like they held them in the goal, red zone to a field,
Mhm.
they'll be on for fourth and then they get it. But I think what the Ravens will do is try to eliminate Stephon, and then that's where the Cole Beasley, McKenzie and everyone they come in and they have to actually step up for the Bills, which I think they will. But I think it'll be pretty close. But a shootout, like 42-38.
Mine was the same, very close to Ohms, a little less close, but 30. I had 41-32 Bills. Yeah, I also think it's gonna be high scoring shutdown. What I noticed was the biggest weakness in the Rams was actually Ferkser out of the slot, even though he was a tight end. So I think Beasley will actually be the receiver with a big night because Ferkser still got separation in a lot of catches, even though he was a slower tight end, and Beasley is one of the fastest and best route runners. And coming out of the slot is one of the Ravens' biggest defensive weaknesses. So I think big night from Beasley. In the Ravens' offense, I think they will run the ball well. I think the game's actually in the hands of Micah Hyde and Tremaine Edmonds. Or Terrell, whatever, one of the Edmonds brothers.
Yeah.
Their job is just to make sure Lamar doesn't do those 50-yard runs and contain him. I'd honestly just sit one of the I'd just QB spy him from about wherever the first down marker is, and just say you're not getting past here, because that's all Lamar can do. But I think this will be the best game of the divisional round.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Browns, Chiefs. This is Sunday at 3 o'clock. Your thoughts?
Oh shit, I wasn't paying attention. So Browns Chiefs. I think the Chiefs will obviously do what the Chiefs do, and the Chiefs can score all their points in one quarter. They can all spread their points out, but they're going to score above like 25-30, obviously. But for the Browns to win, they need to run with Chubb and Hunt efficiently, and then force turnovers on the defensive side, like we saw against the Steelers. Some were lucky, but most of them were interceptions. And then let Baker throw the ball like deep, because that's like the only chance you got against the Chiefs. And then so final score will be like 42-26. I do think Chiefs do come out of there. on top.
I think the Chiefs also win. Got 47-29 Chiefs. I think their offense is too much for the Browns to handle. The Steelers' offense even looked a little bit too much for the Browns to handle, and the Chiefs' offense is way better than the Steelers' offense. The only chance the Browns have is if they can get up early, because that means they can, if they have some of those miracle or good plays, the picks or the whatever snap over the head. If they can get up early and then they can run the ball the rest of the game. But if they fall behind, it is long over, and that's how I think it'll be. It'll turn into a shootout because then the Browns can't just pound the run game, which is the only reason they could win this game. So if the Browns get up, they have a chance, but if they fall behind, it's over.
Yeah. So adding on to Max, yeah, I agree. I have the Chiefs winning 45-28, so very similar to Omen Max. I just think the Browns are a great team, but I think at the moment the Chiefs are on a different level. I think Mayfield will have to have an insane game along with Kareem Hunt and Chubb both running effectively. I think Mayfield has to have over 300, a decent amount of TD passes to even keep the game close. And once again, adding on to Max, if the Chiefs go up early, then it's wraps for the Browns because they can't do what they're best at, which is run the ball. And
I think I predicted only a 3-point win for the Chiefs. I think both defenses are not that special, but both their offenses are actually pretty good. And the Chiefs have only played a couple good quarters of football in most of their games. Like they haven't, like the Saints, they played one good quarter, but I mean obviously they came out on top, which matters the most. But I think the Chiefs will be ahead for most of the game, but it'll still be a close game. I think the Browns will just end up failing once, and then the Chiefs will go up 2 possessions, and it'll be over from there.
Speaking of the Saints, that is how the night is ended. I don't know. Sunday at 6:40 kickoff. I'm not against this. I get to go to bed a little earlier, which could be nice for finals week, I guess. My score prediction for this one is I got 35-23 Tampa. I think Tampa's gonna take this one, and based on my Packers prediction, the Bucks might just be in the Super Bowl, which is interesting. It's probably very wrong, but whatever. I think the Saints, they really did not look sharp at all against the Bears. I mean, if the one idiot just learned how to catch a football once, then that game's a lot different. They're going to need a lot more than 21 points to beat Tom Brady. And yes, Tampa's defense is a lot weaker, but Saints just didn't look good. Then they did nothing against the Bears to say this team can make the Super Bowl. And I think Tampa did a little more against the football team to say me that. So that's why I take Tampa.
I disagree. I think the Saints will win 28-21, just because I think Breeze is going to make it 3 wins against Tom Brady's 0 this season. I mean, I think the Saints defense will be good enough to stop the Bucks, and after that performance against the football team, I don't think the Bucks D is. I think you have too many issues to fix, and I don't think they'll be able to fix it. And that Saints offense should be just fine with Kamara, Thomas, Cook, and even though Breeze might not have the biggest arm, he can still like he's still a good quarterback. Like he can read defenses, and he's experienced. So I think the Saints will win this one.
Yeah, they're both very experienced, but it's kind of scary to see what Tom Brady will do after winning by only 8 against a team that they should have beat by more. So, I mean, I don't know. I think Kamara is probably going to be locked up, I think, by this Bucks defense who just keeps on blitzing and won't learn anything else. And so I do think Brady gets to win here 27-24. But I wouldn't be mad if if Breeze wins. I want both of them to win, but I just can't believe it's this.
No. I have the Saints winning 31-20 mainly because they've played 2 times this season already, and then the last time they played, they beat the Bucks 38-3. Like that's not even close at all. Brady threw 3 interceptions in that game. So I know Brady is postseason king. I think he'll definitely do show off, play better than he did before, but I don't think it'll be enough to stop the Saints' explosive offense.
I would also just like to remind you that this is playoff football, so I know they Tampa didn't blow out the Washington football team, and even though the Washington football team was 7-9, they're still a playoff team, and playoffs is just different. What?
Nothing.
What on?
Nothing. I was talking about something else. Nothing.
All right. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Surya, I saw you deleted it, but I think Surya wanted to just give a little shout out to Michigan basketball. Go ahead, Surya.
Yeah, bro. Michigan basketball been popping off. I think they're 10-0 or 9-0 something. But great.
We're
They beat
10-0.
Minnesota. They beat Minnesota. They beat who else? Northwestern, I think. Both ranked teams. And they still only moved up 3 spots, bro. That's just disrespectful. 10-7. I think we should be top 5. I think we should be above Iowa because Iowa has 2 losses and they all Iowa.
Dude, it's okay. Let Surya speak, man. It's Bayou, not BYU.
Bayou.
Hey, welcome to the Bayou.
I just lost a streak, bro, on ESPN.
Yeah, no,
That's
but
why
I
I'm
think,
so mad.
today their game against Wisconsin is going to be big on ESPN at 7 o'clock. I recommend you guys tune in.
Yeah, big game, Wisconsin.
Sheffield United. How do you lose to Sheffield, bro? God damn it. I lost this ESPN streak again, bro. Bro, Surya, Newcastle is literally losing to Sheffield right now, bro.
No way.
Yeah, Sheffield hasn't won a single game. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like the freaking 2008 Lions.
Dude, fun fact, they were 4-0 in the preseason when they
We're gonna. I lost my streak too. Dang it. I forget something last night that I got wrong. Anyway, GG's guys. You're literally dog water. Literally box like a fish.
Freer than a sample at Costco.
No earnings. Freer than a free sample. You're literally dog water. You're literally dog water. Never listen to our podcast again. Literally dog water. Yeah. Box like a fish. Get absolutely